natural and heavy amount of strength. You're going to need so much damage to clear through those illusions, but then you've got even worse, the Shadow Demon backing up, so that's going to be potentially even more illusions that are going to be thrown all over the field. And let's not forget the Kunkka boat that's going to be coming in, making sure that everyone is even tankier when they go for that engagement. And then the Beastmaster Aura is going to be a nice upgrade in damage as well.
Fnatic going to move out, and this Huskar, it was meant to be their surprise pick to throw DC off, but I think DC kind of did the same with this Chaos Knight, and now we see DC. They're going to go for this bottom rune. Misery up in this top area. Misery, this playmaker so far for DC in the early game, has made everything possible for them so far, leading this young squad into a top 4 berth, and he wants to push it even further. They are 1 game away from entering the final day, and there is nobody that has that on their brackets.
On the other side, Fnatic, you said that in the beginning when we were watching this draft, the Elder Titan faces Void, probably one of the strongest openers. Does that offset what has been a very clear later in the draft counter with the Chaos Knight pick?
It does some of it, just because this combination has to be top 3 in Dota right now. You have a lot of different setups with this Faceless Void, with this Earth Splitter, the Echo Stomp. There's just a lot of different ways to synergize. On top of that, because of the Chronosphere, you have the Spirit in there at all times. You're going to deal so much damage within it, almost always going to kill somebody as DC. They're going to make a move all the way around mid-1. He's going to get sandwiched.
They had 4 heroes down. They showed up until the last second and smoked up. It will be the first blood. The Sleight of Fist dodges a lot of damage, but he's getting body blocked up by Misery. Can they stay ahead of him? He's trying to get in front. DJ gives the extra movement.
That was incredible.
Beautiful pickup level Sleight of Fist to dodge the torrent and speeds himself away ahead of Digital Chaos's attempt at first blood.
And Resolution opting to go for the Reality Rift first. Mid-1, quick thinking there as he barely manages to dodge that torrent. That was unbelievable.
Things getting even worse as Saksa gonna take a lot of damage here from 343, caught out by himself. The full aggro tri-lane is gonna come out from Digital Chaos. They may try and go onto this Elder Titan. No, they're gonna leave him be for now, but they will have this nice disruption torrent combination with the Chaos Knight to be able to follow it up. Our middle lane though is gonna be a bit harder for DC. Invoker is gonna be matched up against the Ember Spirit and what could be the Wisp. But for now, he's going to go top, it looks like. They may be able to stand with Misery, get some damage out on him. I think they just want to secure this Huskar lane, as we've seen in the past, against some Drow Ranger lineups, and especially Huskars. If you don't have the counter to the hero in the mid game, you need to make sure that you pressure him in the laning phase as best as possible.
Yeah, this is a very good way to do it, but at the same time, Fnatic, they've got a decent lineup to battle back this Elder Titan. Able to get into these right-click fights in Saksa. They don't have this kill potential quite yet. And now they're going to go on DJ.
Disruption, Torrent follow-up. DJ's already down to half HP. Actually just done, and they will be able to finish him off. They don't even need the Torrent. Being faked out now as Mushi drops quite low as well. He's got a good backup of regeneration. Looks like he wants to keep himself just on that borderline where he's got the extra attack speed, but is still taking enough to survive. Saksa, he's making a run here, managed to pick up his boots. He needs the help of his team though, because he was getting sandwiched, but this is going to turn against DC. Resolution, a lot of spears burning him down, tick by tick. He has to heal himself, but it may not still be enough. 4 HP, and there he goes. Saksa, he moved forward for the boots and ends up baiting his own core into death.
And you cannot push that far out. This Huskar deals so much damage in the early phases of the game. Level 2 burning spears now. And for DC to win this lane definitively, they have to get kills. But it's going to be hard. The counter initiation from this Huskar, if you don't immediately burst somebody down, he is going to grab a kill for himself.
DC will return with their aggro tri lane. Try and wrest control of this lane once again. We haven't talked about the bottom lane too much. We'll briefly glimpse down there, because I'm sure there's going to be action top soon. Moo is matching up against Ohio's Faceless Void. It should be a relatively easy matchup. There's the disruption, the torrent coming out. There is going to be a tether heal. 343 should be fine.
And they want to continue to try to make these aggressive moves up here. As Fnatic, they're going to start pressing forward. Here comes the stomp.
Stomp, not quite latching there. DC now have the option to go on 343, decide against it. Resolution holds on to that Chaos Bolt, knowing that his mana is the biggest limiter in this lane. one Chaos Bolt is going to make him burn through a Mango. He's only got one of those.
And the unfortunate news is that DJ also has that tether available, and he's got one more bottle charge and a fairy fire to go. It's going to be very hard for DC to immediately burst down any of these heroes without losing somebody in return. So Fnatic going to secure up this top lane. Now, mid one. There is a regen rune at bottom, unbeknownst to him, as we just going to continue to farm away. But so far, laning phase has been all Fnatic.
The 4-minute rune going to be contested by the two supports on both sides. Spirit already going out, increasing the right-click damage to 3-4-3. He's going to try and battle out. He's careful. The torrent dodge is there. They start going for the disruption on DJ. He picks up the bounty rune, but it's going to be caught by Fnatic still. Now they're going to try and turn this one around. Sunstrike, oh, beautiful mid one. Dancing around the edge of that one, but it's not going to be enough for him to escape unless the fire is enough. One more right-click. Oh no, it's not enough. He gets it. Ford Spirit finds it in the end. 3-2 now is Fnatic. They lost their Ember Spirit and their Wisp in exchange for the Kunkka. Clearly a trade that is not worth it for them.
They desperately needed something like that, especially after that kill. First blood attempt. This laning phase hasn't gone exactly great for them as Moo getting bullied out of this bottom lane by Ohio. Faceless Void, one of the best melee 1v1 traders.
And it's all about the micro for Moo. He's got to keep that boar, constantly harassing Ohio, but also staying one step away from the Faceless Void, making sure he doesn't give away any extra gold. Now he's going to TP back to base. He does have his level 6, so we may see the first gank come out. Bihan going to be gone on by mid one. Mid one, he's relying on that flame guard quite heavily, but
I just go down here.
It may overwhelm him. He's got the battle charge. Will have to use both the battle charge as well as that healing salve to be able to keep himself alive. Weeha also similarly just on the edge there.
I think if we turned half a second earlier, he probably would have been able to get that kill. But he got scared, and he doesn't have mana for the Sunstrike quite yet. We, the type of player to still go for it.
Go for it. Oh, you know it. You know he is. Mid-one. He's right by the throne. Invoker not throwing out the Sunstrike. He's not going to go for it. He doesn't have enough information.
Yeah, that would have been completely blind play of the game kind of stuff, but he's content to farm right now. He's zoned out this Ember Spirit very well by himself, and I think he's going to be relatively satisfied. But the other lanes right now, this is causing concern for Fnatic, as Mushi just continues to farm up, and DC really can't contest him. They have to be content to just let Resolution farm in this lane, and Mushi going to come back now. Already has a Realm of Iron Will and that magic stick.
It's hard to see how Digital Chaos will actually be able to deal with this Huskar now. Now that he's got those higher levels, it's so dangerous if they don't actually combo him fully correctly. And even then, there's still the possibility that the Wisp keeps him alive. Huskar can turn a fight. There's crazy output of damage from those burning spears. We'll have to see if Digital Chaos are going to take that risk as they continue to run this tri-lane, giving Moo plenty of space at the bottom lane to get some farm. He's even using some of the neutrals now to keep in step with Ohio. But as you said earlier, Ohio is still the Faceless Void, one of the best one-on-one matchups. He is taking an early lead in CS.
Right now, Moo has to do whatever he can just to trade somewhat evenly. But still, this Void, level 7, maxed out Bash almost. He wants to try to look for any sort of signs of aggression as Moo can't really do much. Even if somebody rotates down here, they probably don't have enough damage to take down this Void. That was an HP on him. No burst on the side of DC. Maybe if they pair with the Sunstrike, but it doesn't look like they want to go for any plays. And they're trying to still set up for top. This should be a high enough level of Sunstrike where maybe they can burst somebody down without the Huskar responding.
3-4-3, maybe the target here. He's the one putting himself on the front lines. Digital Chaos not going to go for it just yet. On mid lane matchup, it was going really well for mid one in the beginning of the game. Despite it being a one-on-one and not actually having the Wisp there to protect him, he was getting a very big lead on the Invoker in CS. That is up until that top river engagement where he ended up going down to the rotations from Digital Chaos, and then that last attempt on Weeha's life also put him back at CS as well. He's trying to recover now, does have his level 7, so he's hit a certain peak and may be able to go for a kill if he gets any kind of rotation to help out with the Invoker.
Fnatic just pushing out this top lane. They've almost got this armlet on this Huskar. And once they have that, they can start to snowball pretty hard. Roshan's a possibility for them as well as DC. It's going to be tough for them to get this, especially with their team being so underfarmed. As Mu again forced to resort to the jungle, as Ohio is going to pick up a very quick Vlad, and this might be a very strong 5-man lineup for Fnatic.
Ember Spirit, Midwan's already set himself up with a really nice defensive remnant over there above that top rune spawn area. So Midwan isn't going to be caught out by this rotation. In fact, he's going to use the haste to go down to the bottom lane, see if he can get the solo farmer, and sure enough, they will be able to get him. Oh, they do have the Chronosphere, but Max TP's coming
Dire's
in,
middle
and with
tower
an Ember
is under
Spirit, you
attack.
can't really do much about that Chronosphere. So I think Midwan had a different plan in mind. He wanted to be able to get close range with Mu, start letting that flame guard eat into Mu's HP, but the Chronosphere kind of keeps him zoned out, and DC responds with a complete rotation of their trend.
And that was a very awkward engagement
Dire's
for
bottom
Fnatic.
tower is under
Pull him
attack.
back there.
Had to use
Dire's
that chrono,
structures are
but still in an
fortified.
okay position as this Faceless Void has gotten so much out of the map already.
That
Dire's
Hawk is so
bottom
far
tower
off the map,
is
you
under
can't
attack.
even see him, but that was what was giving vision of Ohio. Ohio still trying to see if he can contest this tier 1 tower push. He's got a lot of allies coming in, but he has no
Dire's bottom
Chronosphere.
tower
The tier
has
1 tower
fallen.
dies before Fnatic can respond.
Yeah, and that tower being taken down, very good for DC as Fnatic did rotate quite a lot of heroes here. But up at top again, the bigger threat looms as Mushi's Huskar continues to sit back and farm. The good news for DC though is that they have completed this Midas on this Invoker, and now this Beastmaster has jumped out to a lead. Almost has that Necrobook 1. It's going to be very effective at shutting down the Void as you can burn through his mana quite quickly.
Mid-one's got himself in.
Oh, at bottom now?
And go for it. Be able to get the stun. 2 seconds down the stun strike and the torrent follow-up. It's going to burn Ohio pretty low. He needs a bit more time for that time watch. It doesn't look like he's going to get it. Pulled back by X marks the spot. Mushi not there quite yet to be able to hit that ultimate. Saksa turns around, does manage to get off the disruption, preventing the leap of the life break. Mushi, he's got that armlet. No one really wants to fight this Huskar unless they've got a
Dire's top
complete
tower is
airtight
under
plan
attack.
to fight him.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy to take down, especially with the Wisp that can wait in the wings and TP down. Doesn't have a TP quite yet, and Mu going to pop the
Dire's
Necrobooks
structures
by
are
taking the
fortified.
tower.
Chaos Knight not sticking at that bottom lane. He heads up
Dire's
the top right
top
as the tier 1
tower is
tower is
under
about to
attack.
fall. Mid-one is going to make his reveal there with the
Dire's
invisible
top
strike going on
tower
to
is
move. Resolution is going to be coming in from the side. The Sunstrike actually takes out DJ. On to Mid-one. They do pop that ultimate. Chaos Knight's going to try and beat down Mid-one as best as possible. The ultimate going down. Not going to be fast enough to be able to pull Resolution back. They're going to try and chase him down, but here comes the Shadow Beast. The stun is going to be required here. Resolution a little bit more. Disruption ready to go.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Pursuing
attack.
out. He tries to go for a
Radiant
spear here.
structures
Not
are
going to be
fortified.
enough. 25 HP. Resolution stays one step ahead. Saksa, he's safe. They get the Sunstrike. The Sunstrike was on the mark. Mid-one will barely survive, though.
Oh, if he was able to get that poison off, that would have been enough. That was 280 damage. Even with the reduction, Mid-one would have died. But the Shadow Demon can't pop it when you're dead.
That just means Ember Spirit able to get back to base. He himself pops the Flame Guard even just to make sure when poison times out, he stays alive. Now Mu, they seem to be constantly moving the tri-lane and Mu around, switching sides. Mu was just top, took the tier 1 tower. That gank attempt now allows him to head bottom.
Yeah, now Mid-one gonna show back up mid. He still has a decent amount of net worth. This Invoker though, while all that was happening top, he just continues to farm out his own jungle, playing that very passive style. This is not a hero that you necessarily want to teamfight with. Although that may surprise some people, Invoker, the cooldown on this Invoke is so long that at best you get 2 abilities, both of them can't really teamfight. The better thing to do is look for these 2v2 engagements where you can help out with the Sunstrike across the map, and we can just continue to farm. You don't want to farm, really get into an engagement before you have at least the active scepter.
smoke rotation from Fnatic right now. He's currently trying to scout out behind the
Radiant's
tier 1
bottom tower
in the bottom
is under
lane,
attack.
even hoping that someone's going to TP and try and stop Mushi from pushing forward. Not going to be the case here. The trap is a failure. Digital Chaos are going to sacrifice their
Radiant's
safe lane
bottom
tower
tower has
in
fallen.
exchange for keeping this game very low risk.
DC pushing out this top lane in real good position right now, as this Invoker and Resolution's finally starting to pick up some farm. The Beastmaster doing very well for himself, almost already has the book too if he wants it, as Ohio might even be the target here. We talked about how much burst they have with these Necro Creeps.
If the Primal Roar, they're actually going to leave the forest. They will now follow up the Primal Roar. And will the Sunstrike? It will be enough. They explode, the face is void, Ohio goes down. And now Digital Chaos will take back control of their own jungle.
Very well done by them, as now Fnatic trying to make their own move into this mid lane. Mid one finding the angle. Weehawk gonna get gone on.
He's going to be chained up. Now the other time should be able to snap him back as well. And with the Spirits in the Flame Guard, they'll catch Weehaw inside the river. Ghost walked up, but still falls to the AoE.
Even without detection, like you said, enough burn damage to cut through him is very good rotation, but that was the first time we saw the Invoker position that aggressively, and they punished it so well, as this Ember Spirit has just been everywhere on the map. And the key thing is he still managed to keep up in farm, as Resolution just going to scare him a little bit and force him to jump back.
Doesn't even have any backup in that top lane. Resolution is entirely alone. Doesn't even have the armlet, but is playing so confidently that Fnatic probably thinking twice about what heroes are behind him. DC, though, are actually running more of that two-man squad that you were talking about. With, looks like Misery Move going to link up once again. The Torrents leading into the Primal Roar as a surprise gank, or even more secured, the Primal Roar the Torrents. Is a great combination. And you saw that combination mid. Used on a Wisp Illusion.
Move's going
Dire's
to be
middle
incredibly
tower is
disappointed
under
with that.
attack.
Although he didn't pop the Necro Books, but still, that minute-long cooldown,
Dire's
Fnatic going to try to get
structures
aggressive,
are
and they
fortified.
really need to utilize this Huskar. It feels like Mushi a little bit too content to get into this farm war, but you want to try to use this hero to try to take down objectives, use him as a frontliner, especially with this Wisp, and now they're going to start to do so, as Mushi dragging himself mid.
He's got Armlet, he's got Dragonlance, which will allow him to siege down the towers a bit better. Maybe that's why Fnatic, they're going to find the Chronosphere behind the tier 1 tower. Saksa will be the target here. He'll get blown up, but Torrent as well as the
Radiant's
bow
middle tower
lands
is
on
under
Mushi.
attack.
They do have that Inner Vitality going up, and Mushi should be fine to start hitting on that tier 1 tower. DC not fully committed to a fight just yet, but will start pushing forward.
And right now, this mid lane not really quite defensible, as they're not really looking to get into an engagement. DC just
Dire's
looking to push
bottom
the creep
tower
wave
is
back,
under
continue to
attack.
farm, get some items on their heroes. As again, Fnatic gotta play around this Huskar at all costs.
Somebody lit the Shadow Demon, get some levels. He's level 5 at 17 minutes in.
This might be one of the later timings that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The weird thing is he still has more net worth than this Elder Titan.
He's just playing this very sacrificial hard 5 role, but
He's got Arcane Beast along now.
it's just an experienced Mushi. The Sunstrike, pure damage, and the physical damage of Resolution's ult in combination will bring down the Husk. We're gonna need this
Dire's
location.
They might be able to just grab another kill.
Dire's middle
DC gathered
tower
around
has fallen.
this ball of light.
They are gonna get the tether with the pullback.
They are not going to let it shine. They continue to push forward. Now walking into the Roche pit. Huskar and Wisp down without the relocate. This should be fast for DC. And this is the opening that they need to start taking control of the map.
Oh, Fnatic, his All-Star is falling apart. They had this Huskar, couldn't really use him to get any successful team fight. And then one misposition leads into a death in the mid lane, and it just snowballs so quickly. All of a sudden, thanks to the early Necronomicon by Move, because DC bought him that kind of space, they have this pushing power where they can take down the tier 1 so quickly and transition into a Roshan kill.
That was a very fast Roshan. With all the summons, and on top of that, you've got Weehaw. who deals a very good amount of damage with that alacrity. They took that quite quickly, and Fnatic, they relied really heavily on that. Their Huskar doesn't have a hero like the Dazzle who can grave him. He's got the Wisp who, if he just gets blown up or DJ gets repelled, it's very easy to isolate this hero. They have tons of ways to deal with him. Plenty of minions, a lot of right-click damage in the form of their Chaos Knight with the Inner Beast. This is not a hero that is invincible in a game like this. So Fnatic, they're finally going to start playing around their Huskar for Resolution already out.
It's just too late. They already have the aggressive vision down. You saw that ward being placed up earlier while they were in the Roshan pit. That helped give them the information of Fnatic's rotation down to bottom lane. They're hoping to be able to fight that Chaos Knight, especially while he still doesn't have Phantasm. But they're not able to abuse this long cooldown. Again, just failing to be able to latch onto a team fight or a gank that they're looking for. Now Mushi may be caught here. AJ with the relocate. That chiming and he disrupted Mushi. There was no target for the Wisp to relocate out. And all of a sudden, Mushi comes back, surrounded by Digital Chaos heroes. It looks like DJ's going to be sacrificed as well. He was hiding in the trees as he came back from that relocate. Couldn't TP away fast enough.
And Fnatic just not reading that situation correctly is you cannot save the CK under those situations. Stock's a very good disruption, outplaying that Wisp right there. But Fnatic, this is the lineup that was meant to get into these engagements. They've got a Faceless Void and Elder Titan. Huskar, a very immobile hero. You want to start marching down lanes with this guy, and they haven't been able to do so, and instead, they're trying to play this split farm game. And DC, their team fight is just too strong. They push so quickly. Fnatic have to do something to respond.
Now, while there is finally the Ember Spirit taking out the battle here, it looks like Misery is taking a page out of Lanham's book and will be able to pick up an armlet for his Kunkka. He's level 10. He's got phase boots as well, maxed out Deathbringer as well as X. This is very rapidly turning into a fourth core for Digital Chaos.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to say, but net worth-wise, he's not even that far behind Mushi. Maybe if they win one team fight and they get a tower, he'll be pretty close. And Mushi, he's got to force his team to fight around him. They've got to start making moves. It looks like they're reluctant to with the Aegis, but in this mid lane, mid one is going to get opened up on.
He can't really do much here besides the sleight of fist. The X marks the spot, not able to pull him back at the right time. Fortunately, there was a lot of targets there for the sleight of fist, so it was a stalled out and vulnerability period for that Ember Spirit. He makes the zip away.
And this Huskar getting camped by DJ, but once again,
they know about this, and DJ sitting here with the relocate. Not going to just use the red coming in. The relocate will be just in time. Pulls him out. We didn't go that far back into the play. Will start going on to Resolution, takes a lot of physical damage, but now he jumps forward. Resolution is going to be the target. Turn around, 2 seconds done. That's the beat. Now we off. Definitely flat pulling Mushi back into the Necronomicon. No! Armlet goes up. Mushi will survive. He's trapped inside the trees. Looks like he will go through all this. Meanwhile, Midwan catching up as the double kill will find a third. Misery. He tries to go for the tower.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's doing it! He's fighting up there. Long enough for Weehaw to come back and hold that cold snap. No, the cold snap stops the echo. Now
Dire's
Weehaw
bottom
looking for
tower is under
Weehaw.
attack.
Looking for Midwan in the trees. He's hiding away. He's got that battle. Only one more angle to find. Sees him now. Midwan brings around the road into the trees. Let's go trying to dodge. Tornado.
Dominating.
that Sunstrike was a thing of beauty as Mushi gets caught off guard. We managing to save that fight from nothing. As Misery bought so much time, but Ohio with the initiation, this should be able to grab him.
Some big time plays being made by Weehaw here on the main stage, but that Chronosphere is definitely heavy commitment by Fnatic to cut Weehaw's life down. They will be able to get that kill, and that was worth a lot too, about a 1,600 gold swing there.
Even without the Aghanims, that might have been one of the best combinations I've seen of Invoker spell usage. He cold snapped the Elder Titan at the last possible second, managing to catch him off guard. He runs down the Ember Spirit.
Dire's middle
So
tower
well
is
done
under
saving
attack.
that fight. Otherwise, that could have been the turning point for Fnatic, as we see up at top.
I mean, this was such a clutch play. Misery, he tried to lay out a torrent, Midwan read it correctly, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but look at that. That toggle right there was beautiful. The Sunstrike lands on the Huskar, and Misery, even if he dies there, he survives long enough for Weehaw to be able to come in and chase down Midwan. 2 players of Digital Chaos making extremely good plays there.
I don't even know what to talk about. Then I just want to keep focusing on that Sunstrike, because that thing was unbelievable is move.
Radiant's
Centered up at
middle
bottom.
tower is under
Maybe not the
attack.
hero that he wants to go on. He does have that roar available. Maybe he wants to use it with the Sunstrike, but he's got to be always worried about DJ.
With the extra help coming in from Weehaw, he's already teaming into the Hawk, but he's kind of stuck into the trees. He doesn't have a blink yet, so he's kind of stuck there. And Moo, he thought he was going to get some extra help, but in fact, he's going to be run down. Mid-1 will be able to finish him off with a sleight of fist. Little do Fnatic know Weehaw is still here in the trees.
That was very odd. They were trying to do that aerial strike combo.
Yeah.
Maybe even would have gotten a kill, but
Somebody mismicroed the Hawk. That's got to be it. Either that or he was planning on Moo to cut down the trees for him, but...
that was a pretty big kill for them too.
Oh, absolutely.
Now this Huskar going to gain a little bit more net worth. They can still continue to play around this hero path. He is incredibly strong, and Fnatic, the best thing for them is this Void ET combo can still scale at any point in the game. DXC got to be careful for that. They're going to have to grab something like the Aether Lens on Soxa, so he can always get that disruption off even with the chrono in the way.
Yeah, with Ohio having that blink dagger, he could get the clutch kind of initiations. He doesn't really need his scale.
He's going to just find a free kill.
Okay, it's going to be the Chronosphere onto Soxa. With the help of the relocate, they should easily be able to pick up that one. That's
Radiant's
a relocate and
middle
a
tower
Chronosphere
is under
committed.
attack.
Fortunately, the
Radiant
positioning of that
structures
game
are
does lead them
fortified.
straight to the mid tower. But a blitz goes down, and Digital Chaos are actually here to defend.
Fight this.
Weehaw, chasing down. She with the close down jump forward. Nice LA. Ohio just hoping to slow down these heroes. 3-4-3 will be able to hit multiple heroes. With a beautiful combination, takes out Ohio. And then she has a long Mushi. Mushi dead as well. The TP up 3-4-3 will complete it. But that's 3. He got him with the Sunstrike.
Every single time you click anywhere inside the base, it'll always send you right on top of that logo. Read the
Dire's middle
Sunstrike
tower is under
perfectly.
attack.
If you're gonna get away from that Invoker, you want to TP to the left of it. But
Dire's
instead,
middle tower
Weehaw,
has fallen.
unbelievable Invoker performance, willing
Dire's
DC to
top
this top
tower
3
is
burn.
under attack.
They're gonna start pushing down mid with 4
Dire's
heroes down.
structures are
They're gonna take down this tower quite quickly, even with the closing away. This one's the only one left alive
Dire's
to
middle
defend
tower
this.
is under attack.
Unbelievable performance by Weehaw so far. They're going to be attempted pushback here from Mid-1 with this Battle Fury, but he just can't output enough damage.
Dire's middle
With the
barracks
melee
has
rack
fallen.
fall, and Mid-1 knows he needs to be able to catch someone. He's
they got him.
He's trying to jump away. Now it's going to be He's down. Ohio's here. They're desperate to be able to make something come of this, but Fnatic just not grouped up. Now here comes Mushi, but all of Digital in the back. He jumps away. Okay, there's the stop. They hit the Shadow Demon. Once again, Soxa will be left behind as his team
Dire's
escapes.
middle barracks
For the
are
melee
under
rack
attack.
though, well worth his life. And DC, you cannot underestimate how quickly they push. Fnatic, in these team fights, they just do not look centered whatsoever. And they thought because it was 4v5, DC were going to avoid that fight, but without the chrono available, that's a major form of lockdown for this Huskar to be able to deal damage. And the Wisp was nowhere near him, went down very early.
Ohio's got the Chronosphere.
This is when you want to fight if you're Fnatic.
No Shadow Demon disruption to be able to save the hero if they get the right kind of Chronosphere, but right now they just can't find the entrance. Fort Spirits are blocking out this right side entrance to Ohio. He can't really sneak his way in.
Next Robochan going to be absolutely massive for both teams. We saw time and time again, Mushi really needs that Aegis to be able to survive. Can't just rely on this ball of light. As DC, they take him down so quickly. DC, if they could get an Aegis onto somebody like Weehaw, being able to refresh your spells twice in a fight might be enough to propel them as Fnatic just grouped around this area. They want to fight because they have this Chronosphere. Might be one of their better opportunities with the Vision game. With this gem picked up.
The final series, and potentially our final game, to determine which one of these two teams is going to be heading into the last day of the International. It's 19-14, 27 and a half minutes in. Digital Chaos, 1 game up and 10,000 gold lead, 5,000 experience in game number 2.
Yeah, and Fnatic, again, they're just trying to farm out whatever they can. They know where the real fight's going to happen. As DC
Poking around, they know Roshan, all important right now. That could be the way for Fnatic to be able to get back into this game off the momentum that an Aegis grants you. But you can see both sides contesting that Roshan pit. as best as possible. The 4 versus the Rams Creek. 4 will finally win. Crowd goes wild.
Over that.
Radiant's top tower
Not too
is
much
under
else
attack.
happening right now.
Take your spots, guys.
He's kind of pushing into mid lane, but he can't really fully commit for a tier 1 tower push if they go for that. On Digital Chaos' side of the map, and they lose that fight, they'll also lose control of Roshan, so both teams are just searching for an opening right now.
And Fnatic centered around this Rosh Pit area. They absolutely could not afford to give it up. They do have superior vision right now as a result of the spam on this Void. This was going to be one of the only items that they could pick up to start turning things around, as the Hawk is going to do too much in the vision game, as they're going to smoke up now under complete vision. Maybe if they can get over here, DJ has that relocate available. It looks like Fnatic, maybe they want to find the angle to fight.
Sitting here in the high ground, they know this could be a funnel of death if they could give the right kind of Earth Splitter, but they choose not to take that engagement. They don't have all their heroes. They just fully back away.
And that might have been an opportunity for them, but they still feel like they're a little bit too far behind as DC gathered around this bottom area. No idea that they had smoked under that board vision as Fnatic. Maybe they go for a smoke of their own, and it looks like that's exactly what they're going to go for. They want to collapse right on top of DC. They know exactly where they are. Maybe if they can angle around fast enough. The line's been drawn. DC.
They see if they come in through this left-hand side, they could catch Weehaw's Invoker.
They're going to want to lead with this Faceless Void.
Dire's bottom tower
trying to
is
be
under
safe, but he
attack.
doesn't know that the full wraparound is coming in. They've circled DC's position.
Oh, they start grouping up big time. This Chronosphere could be beautiful for Ohio. It's so important
Dire's
that Fnatic
bottom
win this. And now
tower
the
is under
the jump forward. There goes the Atmosphere gets the vision already. Ohio making the Chronosphere will be alive on the one. The Russian name is there. And Mochi, he's almost gone. Still alive. He starts getting vitality up. This right not in time. Will not be able to catch him. Looks like they got his one. Resolution hits doesn't have a TP. He's gonna be going down, but Mochi is all aboard right now for Fnatic. They can't quite save it and let. Maybe DJ got pulled back with the relocation. Off the physical damage though. He plays them down. Ohio, he moves on the way off. Desperate for the back. He can't get it. He wins the mission.
Can you armlet toggle this?
He's into the trees trying to armlet his way through it. But DJ, he gets the right click. Unbelievable timing there with the urn. Gets the kill, and that makes it a 3 for 4.
And it looks so good in the beginning for DC, but it just took them a little bit too long to take down that Huskar. As that bottom 3-4-3 gonna get gone on, but we not willing to commit with that Wisp still up. Not really sure where he is. Now they're gonna just back out. Big hero to survive here, the Invoker. But still, a successful team fight for Fnatic.
And there is an upside because that was not a great Chronosphere. It only caught the Invoker. It did not get the Shadow Demon, which meant that there was an immediate disruption. It was basically a very ineffective ultimate from Ohio. It means that these team fights can still go much better for Fnatic, and they can begin to make a comeback. But for now, that fight alone is not going to be enough. The tempo still remains in Digital Chaos's court.
Yeah, and DC, they just weren't able to get any abilities off with the move. He got killed quite quickly inside that Chronosphere, even with the disruption.
Man, Misery is getting so damn big.
Yeah, he's starting to develop into a core as he picks up a gem of his own, realizing that they just do not have the vision to play around this. And DC centered around this Roshan pit. They understand the next Aegis of the game is going to matter quite a lot, as Ohio going to get spotted out by the Hawks. DC's in return.
I mean, they should know Chronosphere is up. Digital Chaos going to still try and do Roshan here, leaving Weehaw inside of the pit. He's going to be the one man to try and solo up Roshan, but as an Ember Spirit makes his appearance with a Sleight of Fist, becomes a bit too much for DC. Now Resolution's going to be the one inside the pit. He does have Phantasm ready to go, and they've got BKB charges up as well.
Here comes Fnatic, though, smoked up. Going to lead the way with Ohio. What kind of Chronosphere can you get? As now he's going to start patrolling his Forge Spirits to spot for the smoke.
Dire's
And now
bottom
he's going to
tower
get
is under
spotted.
attack.
Oh no. Either way, I don't think Fnatic want to go straight to the high ground area. They're going to try anyway. Jump forward, Ohio. He does it. The perfect here to go for it. Relocate on left-hand side. They can actually take out Weehaw. He gets up to the pistol damage. They still beat up. They take him down. Down Resolution. The immediate moment is lost. He's going to be able to come back. Resolution starts going on to Mucci with all those illusions. Pistol damage. Just seemingly able to overwhelm Mucci. Finally, they get him. The right click comes comes from Misery.
Dire's bottom
A
tower
vital
is under
bleed
attack.
from the Kunkka takes out Fnatic's big carry. And now they have to fully retreat. It costs DC a buyback, but they will be able to take this one shot now.
Still winning them. I think if DC plays this correctly, they can just start going for a push right after the heal. They know that the Chronosphere is down. Weeha's just going to pick up this Aegis for himself, dropping the drums on the ground. I don't even think
Your
that
shot
it matters too
fallen
much.
to the radiant.
He still has a good amount of items. Now he's going to send Resolution back to heal. Would like to see him drop one of his items into the south, but they want to continue this
Dire's
push.
bottom tower is under attack.
With that
Dire's
tier
bottom
2
tower
falling down
has
the bottom
fallen.
lane, Kunkka, Misery's really closing in on a Daedalus. If he wants it, he's got 2,600 gold in the bank right now.
Yeah, he's got an incredible amount of farm, and his boat really did work for DC there as it lands directly on top of DJ, who they really need to kill. 1,400 HP on him. That ghost step is quite effective against DC.
Damage.
Still, Fnatic, it looks like they're okay in team fights. That evasion is incredibly good for Lucy.
Blink Dagger instead for Misery. Better choice for sure, as this means he is an offensive threat to Fnatic at all times. He can blink forward, get the X marks the spot to start pulling these heroes out of position. Conversely, can also X marks the spot himself and blink forward and go for those Tidebringer hits.
Yeah, and Dire gonna scan. They know that there are heroes behind Resolution. That's gonna scare Ohio, making this move. Weeha is just invisible. This move
Gonna open up, they need the stop to be able to save Midwan. They get the force down ahead of the Sunstrike, but the tornado comes through. Midwan gonna be cut down.
and 343 also gonna follow suit. He doesn't have that force staff available. Misery right there with the X storm. And now DC in prime position to go for the push.
They're gonna try and wrap around behind the bottom lane, see if they can at least force DJ's relocate. Or maybe even get the win.
Ohio up and top. They're gonna relocate for this.
Oh, the Chronosphere, they have to relocate inside of the Chronosphere. That's not what they wanted. Resolution pawns the BKB and the Phantasm. He's down to half HP. Pursued out. Mushi managed to latch on to the outflank, but they need the backs and they've got it too. Ohio stops the TP out. And now they get pulled by the Chrono. He brought Mushi. That's not what they wanted. As they already lose the win. And now they're gonna catch Mushi as well. It goes for good to terrible. Mushi cannot fight against 4 heroes.
But without the Chronosphere available, DC might be thinking about continuing the push, trying to force the buyback on one of the cores. That's exactly what they're gonna do. Ohio not in a position to defend without that Chrono.
An uncharacteristic mistake from the star support of Fnatic as he pulls Mushi back to that bottom lane. And that leads to Mushi's death. And now Digital Chaos just outside of that bottom lane. Hoping to be able to push for a second lane of Rex. Shot goes down, Misery. The support, quote-unquote, Kunkka on the front line with his heavy amount of damage. Starts right-clicking the tier 3. Weehaw gonna back him up here. Oh, nice support. Who's gonna be able to find Midwan here? They need to save. The force staff is going to be able to provide a little bit of space. Midwan, he has to jump back to his remnant inside the fountain. And Oxa can immediately get back.
Dire's
Shadow
bottom
Demon
tower is under
won't be
attack.
making it out of the base alive unless the blink. Oh, he stayed ahead of Ohio's right foot.
DC, get out of there cleanly.
Dire's top tower is
Very
under
good escape
attack.
by them. And right now, Cap, they have to sense how far ahead they are. All they have to do at this point is take this game very patiently and not lose composure. So far, in their last series, and including this one, they've been able to keep it so far. One last push might be able to topple Fnatic. And DC know
Dire's
that.
top tower
This
is under
really
attack.
does feel like a bit of deja vu, but it's the last game where Digital Chaos have this big lead, are controlling the map, can just keep a tight grip on the game, but this time around, Fnatic do have some cores that scale a bit better than last time. DC had that late game Slark to be able to employ. Fnatic at least have an Ember Spirit's Faceless Void combination that is a terror in the late game.
Yeah, and DC, they want to utilize this Aegis. They're going to go for this top tower, the last tier 2 available for Fnatic.
So they have enough damage to be able to deal with Resolution's push. He's got a BKB, a Vitality booster. They would love for him to pick up a heart before they go for the high ground and see if they could just tank through the repeated Sleight of Fist Battle Fury hits from Mid-1's Ember Spirit.
And Fnatic, they're grouping up, but not really looking to fight, as they're going to give this one up for sure. Not really worth risking the game over. Buyback statuses, none of them have it.
Dyer's
Tier
top
2
tower is under attack.
for sure can be given up as Fnatic will just find a bit of farm and wait for the high ground push.
Dyer's
DC,
top tower
They
is
might
falling.
not know this, but Fnatic, they don't have buyback on any of their heroes. They cannot afford to lose a single core in this push. DC, though, have that Aegis. Hearts completed now on resolution. They're going to start beating on this top tower with the Shadow Demon illusions.
The disruption illusions push forward for the Chaos Knight, getting free
Radiant's
damage
bottom tower
on that
is under
tier
attack.
3. We've seen this so many times in the tournament. Very little commitment to the high ground push by this team. X marks the spot, disruption illusions. Everything
Radiant's
is
bottom
non-committal
tower
from
is under
DC as
attack.
they chip away at the tier 3.
They're doing some damage here. At the same time, Lucian going to get pointed up. Resolution thinking about it. Maybe
Radiant's
not
bottom
the people you want to
tower
find,
is under
especially
attack.
with no vision onto Ohio. He's going to be the man to watch.
Fnatic, they need to be able to find an initiation. Eventually, they're just going to lose their tier 3 and range tracks to this constant shift of digital chaos, and that's all up to Ohio. To see if he can get the
Dyer's
blink
top
forward in
tower has
Chronosphere.
been
The tier
denied.
3 goes down, and DC back away in peace.
Very good deny by Lucian, but that's the best that you can do. Give them that power. Fnatic, they're not going to be too pleased about this. As DC is going to continue to poke and prod. You now have buyback available onto this Ember Spirit. And again, maybe if they can find an initiation with Ohio.
Stomp goes down, stalling up the illusion push, but
Oh, this is chain crack. There's no glitch available. They can just continue to poke at this.
Forge Spirits and Illusions have already brought the range rank down to half HP. Fnatic just cannot output enough damage to stop the march of progress.
Dyer's
for
middle
Digital
tower is
Chaos.
under attack.
Now the top opening, Lucian, he starts going on to Mushi. Mushi down half HP. DJ still has the tether in the turnaround. And on the side though, they are going to be able to get the roar out. 3-4-3. Could be solved. He has the Chrono. Has the more, but he's feeling pushed back in front. Resolution gets them with the wall. Ohio gets over 2. And now Mushi, he starts going in. The disruption move will finally be brought down, and they pull it back out. Just in time, DJ Sunstrike.
Barely doesn't clip him as DC. They still want to go for the push. This hard regen is going to kick in any second now. And Fnatic, they have to commit the buyback to this Ember Spirit. They still have that Chronosphere available. That's what's going to keep DC from going for the push.
DC have been doing a great job keeping aware of their positioning and staying spread out, not allowing Fnatic for a big Chronosphere that could change the fate of this game.
Yeah, this top racks not looking in great shape as DC. They can just keep doing this chip damage game. They're going to wait for their Beastmaster, though, to respawn. They know that this Ember committed the buyback. Weehaw has one available now. So if for whatever reason he gets caught out solo by the Chrono, he can even just use the buyback to come back in and maybe cement the fight for his team.
Which is also why he feels comfortable keeping the other lanes pushed in. He starts going for the bottom lane. Now he is going to be spotted out immediately, and maybe this is Fnatic's opportunity to get a pick.
They're thinking about it, but how long will he actually stay there? They have the relocate available, but now he's gone.
There's some wards of DC's very own sitting there. He'll be able to spot out the faceless void as he tried to press through the trees and catch the Invoker. So now it becomes a game of push and
Dyer's
pull.
top barracks
lane,
are under attack.
pulling Fnatic's heroes back up there. And we are going to see DC actually start moving up the top lane. More disruption pushes. And it's the melee racks. It has that natural regen, but it may not be enough with this disruption constantly up from the Shadow Demon, and he's dishing out so much damage.
And you even had to commit the ultimate from the Huskar just to be able to clear one of them. DC playing this slow, patient game. Absolutely no reason to rush this right now. They are one move away from being able to move on.
Ohio is determined to catch Weehaw when Lusa travels down to the bottom lane, assuming that he's going to do some sort of split push game. He's committing a heavy amount of time here to wait in the trees, but it doesn't seem to be successful. DC making no movement to that bottom lane just yet. Move just spotted out Roshan. DC, no reason to go for a high ground push if they can get a second life for some of their heroes.
And we now shows up at this bottom half, and I think this is just going to mean DC going to go for this free Roshan. Going to try to poke Fnatic outside of their base And the Eagles and Cheese might just be a little bit too much for them to handle is they've got to deal with these illusions and these Roach spirits first. But they are going to be way too late to defend the Roach.
Oh, they certainly are. There's just too many threats, too many fires that they have to put out first. They start trying to find Roshan, but as they exit their base, Roshan falls, and the Aegis picked up on the Chaos Knight.
Now DC primed and ready to go for a push again. Fnatic, this combination though, Void plus ET, that could do all the work for them.
They start setting up Digital Chaos, keeping all the lanes pushed in, will eventually head towards that top lane and go for that melee Rax. We're just about to see Weehawk complete a refresher. He's already had a fantastic game on this Invoker, made some big time plays, and it's only gonna get bigger with 2 times the spells.
And that's a Bloodthorn now on their Kunkka. This is going to be their option to deal with this Huskar. It gets completely rid of his evasion if they just right-click him down. The silence is going to be very good against all of the heroes on that side of Fnatic because they have no way to dispel it. And the assault comes in at bottom. Power's down already.
The last tier 3 finally falls, and already there's an illusion push at top lane. Now the jump forward.
They know he's up there.
He's onto the trees. He's going to be able to get the Chronosphere onto the 2 supports in the background. They have the relocate coming in from the side as well. But now Resolution comes the meatball with the meatball. Number 2 falls as well. Mucci, he gets pulled back just in time, but they do not have 2 heroes for a full.
Meanwhile, Moo at bottom.
Moo helping to be able to snatch up DJ.
He's just going for the rag.
Now up and he's going to be able to finish him off. Moo, they're going for the Mega Great. Moo takes out one Rax, and the rest of Digital Chaos take out the other ones. Fnatic have to stand strong against Mega Creeps with only 2 cores left.
There's no Ember Spirit buyback. DC. They can sense their moments away from winning, and they're going to run into
Finds him in tree, brings him down with his army. Now goes for Ohio, goes straight for Weehawk, trying to take out threat number 1, but he doesn't stand a chance.
This is the last possible hold from Fnatic. They're going to have to do it 3-on-3.
Mucci comes forward, already jumping onto Weehawk. Weehawk getting off the invis, but now going to be spotted up by the Dota, and will finally bring the Invoker down. He's dead for 2 minutes, but he has a buyback.
And now DC just trying to get out as Mushi going to jump forward.
He's going to be able to find more. Saksa jumped on by the life break, brought down as well. Only 1 hero now left from Digital Chaos. The only one to survive through all of that is the Chaos Knight. But there is no possible way for Fnatic to turn and push against DC. They still need their 2 heroes up for 20 seconds. And there is so many creeps in their base.
And DC, they just lulled Fnatic into this false sense of security. Fnatic, they thought that they had a very good fight.
Middle tower is
But
under
Moo
attack.
just runs bottom, goes for the racks. While they deal with that, the rest of his team cleans up at top. Very well done by DC. They've kept their composure. They've got Mega Creeps up. All they have to do now is one little push, and Fnatic, they had to commit every single one of their buybacks to be able to defend that.
Digital Chaos have been playing such a beautiful game, leaving nothing to chance, outmaneuvering and outfighting their opponents every step of the way through this lower bracket. And now they are just one very small victory from accomplishing something so huge. Digital Chaos have every advantage you could possibly want heading into the top 3 position. All they have to do is close out the game.
And right now, all lanes, they're kind of pushing them out. As Fnatic, they're pushing out this mid lane. The creeps do so much work as DC. They've got buybacks on their cores. I think once this Invoker's up, they just want to start pushing down. Assault Cuirass completed on Beastmaster. Not even that needed. Aegis still available on this CK. And now Fnatic, they're going to make their move out.
Link out, move. They're not fully grouped up, so he doesn't risk the fight. It looks like they're building a fight. Resolution here. Resolution pulling back 3-4-3. He pops his Manta, now going to be cleared up. Is there flipping enough damage? Mucci gets shot in the back. Mucci goes down. Resolution still alive as well. DJ, he needs to be able to pull these heroes out, but Ohio's already dead. Forced down. No, they're only left with Midwan as the Ember Spirit. How could he possibly stop 5 Digital Chaos heroes?
The throne is exposed.
Throne already down to half HP. The Glyph about to run out. And DC, objective full and high. They're ready to top 3 is finished. They stood at 48 minutes in, and they 2-0 Fnatic.
I cannot believe what's going on.
Unbelievable. Digital Chaos, they've made it into the top 3. Fnatic will fall here in 4th place. And we have our finals. The top 3 teams for the last day here at the International 2016.